Yes, I understand it has been a while. Yes, here's another video. I am back for now, and let's just get into it. This is probably Aronofsky's most commercial movie, I feel, and the story is what I expected it to be, executed much better than I thought it would be. Hello everyone, my name is Max Aaron James. This is a review of the movie Caught Stealing, written by Charlie Huston, based on the novel by Charlie Huston, and directed by Darren Aronofsky. This movie is about a former baseball prodigy who, after an accident, his career pretty much just became non-existent, and who moves across the country kind of to escape that life and not to look back on that history and just get by through life, living a pretty complacent, unfulfilling lifestyle. And because of his neighbor who owes people some money, our protagonist ends up in a violent situation where some parties are looking for him, specifically his neighbor, because they want this money, and our protagonist is willing to do anything and give any party whatever to get him out of the situation, which I totally get. It's not about doing the right thing, it's about how do I get out of the situation where my life is threatened and I can go back to just living day by day, working at a bar, hooking up with this chick, and just living. This movie, every character makes asinine decisions, they make dumb choices, but every choice they made felt understandable to their character, and it felt real to their character. And our protagonist, played by Austin Butler, felt also real. And I like that we were given his character's background in bits throughout the movie instead of stopping the story in the middle and to give us that exposition, or wasting our time in the beginning to explain that backstory. This movie is pretty fast paced and it moves quick to get to our story, but almost to a fault, because the beginning, this world building felt a bit rushed, but it felt like it was there as an obligation to the viewers. Still, once we get into the story, I enjoyed myself. It was fun, it was entertaining. I don't know if I'd go back or when I would go back to watch this movie again, because we have hundreds, if not thousands, of movies like this, which I will get into. But I did have a good time and I was rooting for our protagonist. It's always nice seeing Vincent D'Onofrio. Regina King does a fantastic job as expected. I think I've only seen her play a character like this in another movie that I won't say because I don't want to give up too much of what kind of character she plays, because I don't believe it's shown in the trailer. But I really liked her performance. Zoe Kravitz does well. Austin Butler does fine. I feel I'm at this point where we've seen this plenty of times of an action movie that general audiences seem to find more acceptable when it is a white male inflicting the violence on other people and justifying it because they're getting revenge or they just want peace. And this character often is pulled or forced into this violent world when from a place of peace, with a backstory that is relatively boring and just run of the mill. And oftentimes we do not see that given to non-white characters, and oftentimes those characters are ones who were born into this world, into this life, associated with people who participate in criminal activity, and they are kind of needing to be around this world, and that's the only time we really give attention to those characters, or characters of non-white characters. And when we do treat non-white characters in the same way that often white male characters are treated, those movies most times are not given the same attention or acclaim, even if the story is good. Either way, like I said, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite. I still enjoyed this movie. I liked the pacing for the most part. I appreciated it. I really appreciated the locations. It looked really nice. The world looked nice. It went in directions that I was not necessarily expecting. People were really dying. This movie is an Aronofsky film, so you do deal with existential and dark elements or themes and thoughts of just what are you doing with your life, thoughts of life, and thoughts of what it means to do certain things or live a certain way. If you've seen it, I'd like to know your thoughts on the movie. If you haven't, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but if you do watch it, I think you will enjoy yourself. Until next time, y'all take care of each other, check up on one another, make sure you check up on yourself, and remember, potential has no limit.